I would like you to welcome my husband, Robert Spetzler, to the stage.
Shit. I can't believe you're all still here. This is like an out-of-body experience because the person that they have been talking about, I do not recognize. I simply do not recognize. And to be speechless for me is a new experience. And to actually be humble about it is terrifying. I do have a couple of slides, but I want to thank everybody that was involved in doing this, certainly the generosity of the Sontags for those gifts, the incredible pride I feel of having my friends and colleagues come up and say such outrageously kind things about me. David and Christina, Nancy, I gotta talk about something else, otherwise I'm not gonna be able to get another word out. So how can I thank everyone? I really can't, but I wanna give you just a tiny bit of history, how I happened to be here. John Greens had a dream, and it was really Charles Barrow and Sister Placida that allowed that dream to flourish and become the BNI. And the Sisters of Mercy played a real role in the tone that was set at that medical center and in the BNI. And in 1962, this incredible dream became a realization. And in 2006, it was renewed with the generosity of many of you in this room. And it was really the Taj Mahal of neuroscience buildings at the time. And the spirit of the sisters, I don't know whether they're here or not, but, oh. It's easy to talk the walk, they walk the walk. And they did it every day, and I always considered a privilege to be in their presence. It is true that I'm not a particularly religious person in the sense of following one creed or another, but I do feel very, very strongly in a spiritual sense of what is right, how to live your life, and these two sisters exemplify that. What my parents have taught me, and especially my mother, is that energy that is spent in a negative fashion requires an enormous number of calories, and it eats away at you, and it doesn't let you sleep, and it creates conflict instead of allowing you to build. And I must say that Linda Hunt and Patty White have been an absolute joy to work with, and much of what we have produced together comes from working together rather than in conflict. And not many administrations and physicians really live in harmony. I, I think that was Patty cheering for herself. Yeah. And it produced a lot of things with your help, like the new research system, new research building, and our first two B&I administrators, Sister Perlich and Phil Pomeroy. Phil can't be here with us, but I believe his daughter is here. So if I do have a strength, which I will come back to in just a minute, it is, as has already been suggested by others, it is delegation. And these two gentlemen that you see up on the screen deserve an enormous amount of gratitude for having the B&I become what it has. They have worked tirelessly, often not been recognized for their full value, and I'm greatly indebted to them. You realize every time you clap, this takes longer. It is also appropriate to recognize Cindy Stark, who runs our neurosurgical group, who is just such a champion. But nobody could be more fortunate in the office staff than I. And the Spetzler team of Barb, Sydney, Michelle, and Barb are just spectacular. They represent the front door. That's who the patients talk to. It's absolutely critical. Never once have I heard them be intolerant. And there are many patients and families who, because of what they are facing, can be quite difficult. But I have a right and a left hand, and those two individuals, Michelle and Barb, have made me look so much better than I've ever deserved. I love them, and I'm indebted to them a great deal. And then on the bottom of the picture, which I guess somebody decided the show's over. Oh, yeah. I'm surrounded by strong women. Ruth, you were absolutely spectacular in bringing up all our young female neurosurgeons because it's an incredible sense of pride. And it's that sort of initiative that I love. But I was surrounded by not just good-looking women, but very strong and competent women. And you see my daughter, Michelle and Barb. In the middle is Nancy's mom. Kirsten is off to the right, my beautiful daughter-in-law. And then Catherine, my niece, who works at the B&I. There are so many people to thank. I clearly am going to be omitting a lot, and I hope you won't take offense at that. It's purely a matter of time. If I thanked everybody that was really responsible for our success, we'd be here another week. The editorial office, however, B&I quarterly manuscript, books, photography, absolute terrific artistry, computer animation, have allowed us to present a window to the neuroscience world that is really just incredible. And here's the staff. I am so appreciative for them. The backbone, the heavy lifting at the B&I belongs to the nurses. And we have the best, and I am so grateful to them. They are just really spectacular, and I felt very, very honored when I was their guest at their national meeting in 2006. Neurology, our partner, under the able leadership of Jeremy Scheffner, is growing, is robust, great care, and these are the residents that are there now. Just about 35. There are so many people to thank that I can't be inclusive. You see some here. You see some of the accomplishments. The Barrow Emergency Stroke Treatment Unit, which will be hitting the roads in July. Enormous amount of work by many individuals. What does it do? It takes diagnosis to the patient and treatment to the patient, shortens that time where the brain is not getting enough blood flow, and decreases the amount of neurons stroke patients are going to suffer. These are my partners. And these are the faculty, the neurosurgical faculty, incredible group of individuals. And also giving. Not only do they give of their time when somebody is in need and they volunteer, but over this 1983 to 2017 period, we have donated $10 million to the BNF. I promise to get back to probably the only strength I can really take credit for, and that is the ability to delegate. Delegation basically means having other people do the work and you receiving the accolades. I'm particularly good at that. This evening proves it. But this is a plaque that our first resident put together, which he credits me with this saying, and he put it together, and on that plaque it says, "Never put off till tomorrow what you can have a resident do today." And everybody knows that's a motto that I live by. And so I'm incredibly proud. I really, truly consider my legacy in neurosurgery this. These are the residents and fellows that are currently in-house. You can see them there. Incredibly intelligent, committed, compassionate group of individuals. And these are all the residents and fellows we have trained 1983 to 2016, over 200 of them. Quite a few of them are here. And every time I see one of my or our professional children, the string in my heart begins to vibrate. Because this is what we leave behind, and they are incredibly gifted, and they will serve the future very, very well. And I've memorized each and everyone's name, and sometimes I pretend that I don't know it because that's what they expect. The other portion of our mission, besides patient care and education, is research, and this is just a small percentage of our research groups. And research has always been like a black hole. You can funnel all the money that you can raise into it, and it just never, ever fills up. But so much of what we have accomplished, we couldn't have accomplished without your help. And you see the Barrow Foundation Board. I will touch on the women's sports separately. The individual donors, the special programs, the physician participation. During the time I have been here, not because of me, but despite of me, we have raised over $300 million. Genius, like Jimmy Walker establishing Fight Night. So many dollars going to Parkinson's disease. But those incredible women, the women's board that have raised over $50 million and have allowed me to be on the cover of Trends with beautiful women 6 times, that's special. And they even created a musical number. Can we play it?
Dr. Spetzler, this is for you. Thanks for the memories of 30 years 2+4 of service and much more, of surgeries impressive and research so progressive, making sure Barrow is top drawer. We thank you so much. Thanks for the memories, for having no compunctions while treating brain malfunctions, challenging and cavernous and making you quite ravenous, racing to spring and Christmas luncheons. We thank you so much. Thank
So I'm not sure whether their singing performance is going to raise a lot of funds. But clearly the ball they put on every year has got to be the most fashionable, incredible event that we have annually. What is the Legacy Project? Well, it's really a front door to the BNI, and it's for patients, and it's putting neurology and neurosurgery together. And most importantly, it's an entire floor for clinical trials. We currently have 250 clinical trials ongoing, and we want to centralize that. And the future of the BNI is bright. You heard from Dr. Lawton. Not only is he an incredible neurosurgeon, he's got his heart in the right place. And as with Dr. Porter, who I've kept around for only one reason, he has a most attractive wife. I am absolutely confident that we are at the threshold of the next big leap, and he is the person that will lead us. But you can't get away from talking about a life like this and without mentioning Travel Club and Friends. And in the bottom left-hand corner, you see Ben Stein, who's already been mentioned, who is really one generation ahead of us. He's 86 years old. He's here gracing us with his presence. Some of us have skied with him many, many years together. When my chairman was asked whether I should go to Arizona to go to this small place in Phoenix, and he said, "You go to Phoenix, you're going to wither in the desert." Ben Stein said, "I would go for it." And I did. And he had trained a neurosurgeon that was in private practice in Phoenix. He thought rather highly of, because I asked him of his opinion what I should do, and his name was Volker Sonntag. And that's really the connection that got us to Volker Sonntag. These friends that you see here who must just be squirming in their chairs for having to listen to so many outrageous lies about me. But we have a travel club, and we have gotten together, and we have mutually supported each other and traveled through this professional life, not just as neurosurgeons, but as families, have discussed problems, supported each other, and it has been an absolutely terrific trip. And then there's Volker, our friendship, again, depends on the fact that he married well. But it's been an incredible journey, and Volker, I thank you for the kind words you said. The things about days worked and who's better looking, I think we'll discuss privately. Yes, there are so many friends, we've shared so much. I'm gonna finish up. This was 2015, it was an absolutely beautiful start, very cold with frost and snow on the ground. My antidote to stress from surgery was physical exertion, and I was so proud to have Nancy finish the Boston Marathon. She finished the Boston Marathon. But the character of the woman is really defined by the fact that she had finished the Rock and Roll Marathon, had qualified for the Boston Marathon, been diagnosed with breast cancer, had surgery, recovered enough so she thought she could run, delayed chemotherapy so she could run the Boston Marathon. That's my girl. On the bottom picture, you see my brother who spoke so eloquently earlier. This is after we had finished a bike race that was 206 miles long. We were euphoric. I will leave it to him to tell the world who came in first. Yes, he is 6 years younger, and yes, he's brighter. But enough said about who came in first. Actually, we were so euphoric for both having finished. It was just an incredible experience. And then a couple of months later, he had this terrible bike accident. And the way he has handled himself, he deserves the word of being a hero. Family's the foundation, and as Nancy told you the story of when she met me, when she told her roommates an hour later that she was going to marry me, well, I didn't have a choice. So usually when I talk about her in a public affair, it's hard to find the words, but sweetheart, I love you. I couldn't have had it better. Then came along these two little kids, and it really wasn't hard. How often did we try, sweetheart? Yeah, I mean, that's the only time we swear we had sex, is to procreate. And then my children followed their dad's example and married up. And we have a wonderful extended family. The bottom picture is the Spetzler clan. We get together every 2 years. And then the final reward is really the grandkids, of which we have 5. And so off I go with incredible gratitude, first to the thousands of patients that have entrusted themselves in my care. I've rejoiced with them when things have gone well, and I've agonized when it didn't, and when I failed them, I give them my deepest apologies. So I'm flying away, but not leaving, to spend more time in pursuits like this. I want to thank each and every one of you for making this evening so special, for welcoming us to the Valley, and for allowing me to live my dream. Thank you very much.
All right, who's hitting the gym tomorrow? Start training. Feel the need to start training, Dr. Spetzler. I just want to thank everybody on behalf of the Spetzler family and Barrow Neurological Foundation. I want to thank you for joining all of us tonight to honor one of the world's greatest neurosurgeons. As illustrated by all the speakers tonight, you know that Dr. Spetzler is much more than that. A loving husband and father, you heard about that, a loyal friend, a strong leader, a brilliant academic, a caring mentor, and of course, a life-saving doctor. Barrow, the Phoenix community, and the world are a better place because of you, Dr. Spetzler. So we wish you the best. Shoot, I made it through the whole night without tearing up, even the whole thing about Dylan. We wish you the best in your retirement. And don't get angry if some of us stalk you. And by stalk, I mean email, try to track down your cell, maybe show up on a Grand Canyon hike or something. So congratulations, enjoy your trips. Everybody stay safe on Sunday, and thank you all for coming.